So, you want to earn your first dollar online, but you feel overwhelmed and kind of lost in the process because there's so much information out there. People are telling you to start social media marketing, they're telling you to become a growth operator for online communities or to become a high ticket sales rep. Well, that's all cool, and those are all business models that work for many people. But if you're somewhat like me, you want to start your own thing and something that aligns with your vision, your strengths, and something that you can sustain for a long time, because that's what it really comes down to. And with all of these contradicting business models and information out there, we kind of lose clarity about what is really important. And if you are in the state, you have started your business or you want to start one, but you do not know what to do next, then this video is exactly for you. Why? During this video, I'm going to share with you my exact roadmap that I am following to build an online business the smart way and to do it so in this year and to monetize it as fast as possible, but without making short-term decisions that will hurt me in the long term. And to do so, I have prepared a couple of systems that I want you to follow along. So make sure to download the board with the description, with the link in the description, and follow along. Add some sticky notes to each system and try to brainstorm things that you can do to help you find more clarity for what you're trying to achieve along the process. And as already mentioned, I really, really get your pain because I want to build something that will not only help me earn a living, but it will help me to support my family, earn myself more freedom, and also help people in the process, because I want to support people that want to build their dreams, and therefore I'm sharing this information with you. And contrary to every other YouTube business guru out there, I'm not at the stage where I'm earning millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. I'm just at the beginning with some marketing background and a lot of time spent analyzing what these people are really doing and how I can use their information, their knowledge to build something that works for me. And since I'm only like a couple of steps ahead of you, I think this is the best way for you to learn, because what I'm doing in the process is something that you can apply now without getting bombarded with fluff or any content strategies that only work if you have a lot of money, etc. So make sure to really buckle up and follow along this process. So as I said, with this roadmap, please take your time, follow along, and let's get started, because I truly believe that we're all able to create what we really want for ourselves, and all we need is clarity and accountability. So let's get started. But before we dive in, let us look at some things that you do not need. To follow along this plan, you do not need thousands of subs on any social media platform, and you do not need to be an expert in what you're doing yet, and you do not need expensive equipment. But what you need is an offer. So you need to know where you want to convert your audience towards, and you need to know how you want to gather the eyeballs. So how you want to gain views and gain an audience and interest for what you're trying to do online. And then obviously you need to commit. So this is a big mindset thing. Let's just get started with the two big reasons people have that makes them give up and leads to them failing in the long term. And first of all, it's missing clarity and missing accountability. As we see, missing clarity leads to analysis paralysis. So you start to try to perfectionize things, and you get lost in the process because you don't know what to really tackle, because everything feels so complex and you just don't get started. Which also leads to you focusing on low leverage tasks like consuming endless content instead of getting into executing on what you've learned, because that's the hard thing, to be honest. But this is all bound to missing clarity. And it also leads to you making short-term decisions, such as trying to sell something really quick or trying to hop on a scam method of doing something. And it also ends up in you crafting the wrong message. And crafting the wrong message has a lot to do with creating wrong content and attracting people that don't really align with what you're trying to build for yourself in the long term. And this all leads to a vicious circle, because with focusing on low leverage tasks, we put in a lot of work, but we wonder why we're stuck and not progressing, and this leads to us losing motivation, and this leads to us giving up, etc. So this is really a vicious circle. And the next thing under no accountability is that you get desperate, and you also feel anxious along the way because nothing seems to work, and you feel like you're the only person out there trying to do this. You feel like you have to bear the entire world on your shoulders, and people end up giving up. And also, obviously, excuses, because we'll make excuses for ourselves. Oh, this is impossible. I'm not made for this. And I'm pretty sure that we all can execute on building our own businesses, especially now with AI and all of the information out there. And we do not need big teams, we don't need a huge budget, and we don't need expensive equipment, tools, or whatever. So let us really try to focus on gaining more clarity and finding ways to gain accountability for ourselves, to really follow through building what we want to build for ourselves. And if you want me to help you with both, then apply to work with me here. And as already mentioned, before we get started with the true meat of this entire thing, download the board with the link in the description and follow along. So let's start with point number 1. Before we do every other thing, we need to really reflect on our strengths and what our vision is and what we're good at. And by finding out what we're good at, we can build something that's really sustainable and that is fun in the long term. Because if you start a social media marketing agency and you really hate organizing people, you really hate client acquisition, then that's going to burn you out, and you're going to hate it, and you won't continue following along the path because of the resistance you will be faced with. But if you find a business model that is more suited to you based on your strengths, that is something that you can craft for yourself, then that is something that's better for the long term. So there are 2 ways to do so. First of all, the unstructured way of reflecting. And number 2, the structured way. So for the unstructured way, I want you to take your note block, to take your sticky notes, and to reflect what of these things attribute to your superpower. So what is the content that you consume that gives you an edge over others? So information about AI, whatsoever. Same goes for trends you follow, because a lot of people are not up to date on a lot of trends. So this can help you in providing them with that information in a curated way, because it's fun for you and you're really good at finding out the nuggets, and so on. And the next one is, who are the people you love helping? And this feeds back to your strengths, because it motivates you to build skill sets better that are attributed to helping those kinds of people. And then what are the jobs that you've done in your life, and what are all of the soft skills that you've built up that can help you leverage your network and whatever. Then other things we have is, what are traits and skills people admire about you? So what does your family, your friends, your colleagues say that really pinpoints what you're strong at? Let's say they really love the way you organize and structure your events or your holidays or whatever, then that's something that you're good at, that you can try to implement by, for example, being a growth operator and helping people structure their operations. Then also we have personal projects that you've completed, because the projects that you've completed are things that have interested you and that are great, that have been great for helping you compound skill sets. And all of this funnels to what are the problems you've solved for yourself and problems you've solved for others, because those are things that are mostly things that are leveraged by your strengths. Then we have the structured reflection. And you've probably already heard of the Ikigai model. This is like a westernized version of it, if I'm not wrong. And what you want to find out is, what do you love doing? What does the world need? What can you be paid for? And what are you good at? So really take your sticky notes and try to fill out the gaps and find out what you're good at. Then other tests that you could do, you can get your company that you're currently working for to pay for you to find out what your domains of strengths are. And I think you can also pay it yourself. It only costs like $30 or something with a Gallup Strengths Finder. And I think the high five test is also free. So find out what you're really good at out of these domains of strengths. So after finding out what you're really strong are, let's move on to step number 2. And step number 2 is to find the target audience that you can help most. And this is an image from Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers. And what we want to really look at is there are 3 big eternal problems that people face, and those are relationships, wealth, and health. And you want to find out where your business can help people solve one of these eternal problems. And we can also dissect them even more and look at the 8 eternal life forces from the book Cashvertising, where the author dives into forces that, if addressed by your solution or the business that you're trying to build, will help you find a good niche. So this could be an eternal life force or an eternal problem that people have is that they want freedom of fear, pain, and danger, or they want things that help them gain more status or make them superior to their competition, or social approval, comfortable living conditions. Just go through this and fill out what you can address with the solution that you're trying to build. Then let's move on to step number 2. After finding out what eternal problems we can address with our solution, we want to find out what can help us to really clarify the audience that we're trying to address. And one question that can help us do that is to ask yourself, if you would open a water stand today, what would be the biggest advantage that you would want over your competition? So this could be the quality of the water, or the price that you're offering your water for, or different tastes. But one big advantage that people mostly don't really have in mind that will help us set the right framing is having an offer that addresses an audience that really, really needs it. So think about what can you do to frame your product as something great for a dehydrated audience. So if you look at the picture, this person is selling water in the desert, and this will make the water super valuable since someone's selling it in a very well in a place where there's a lot of water, right? So you want a dehydrated audience, a thirsty audience, and you want a starving audience. So really find out what audience fits, what audience that is starving or dehydrated that you can provide a solution to. And to really pinpoint this even more, let's look at this framework also from Alex Hormozi. First of all, we want to identify is the audience that we're trying to help in pain. Do they have purchasing power? Are they easy to target? And is the market that we're trying to address growing? So examples for here. So number 1, pain. Are they overweight? Do they have back pain? Or do they have lowest self-esteem? Are they broke, or are they lonely? Then purchasing power. Are you trying to help students or unemployed people? Or are you trying to help business owners, rich doctors, and governments who have the budget to afford what you're trying to sell them? Then we have targetable. So does the target audience that you're trying to reach use certain social media platforms? Or are they on X? Are they on YouTube? Or do they use Pinterest, for example? Do they follow certain accounts like news media, news outlets, or whatever? Do they watch X and Y topics? So try to find out if you can target them. Or maybe they are found at like shopping malls whatsoever. And try to really brainstorm where you can target these people. And then growing market, let's say a rather dying market is a newspaper market because people consume their information online. So try to find a market that's not getting ousted by technology, which can be difficult now with AI. So that's why we want to find something that we can build for ourselves, because who knows, our jobs might be gone soon. Then, after we have looked at our strengths, after we have looked at defining our target audience and finding them, let us look at the skill stacks that you need to provide a solution to those people based on your strengths. Let us take the example of becoming a content creator on YouTube. And what I want to present to you here is a way of attaining high value skill sets in a faster time frame than you would do just going out there and trying to learn stuff. And this is a scientific approach that I want you to follow. So craft a hypothesis and an antithesis. So first of all, let's say I want to become a content creator and I have no experience and all of the skills that someone needs. So I craft an hypothesis based on my knowledge. Focusing on mastering thumbnails first increases my click-through rate, so how many people click on my videos, and leads to more growth of their channels, more subscribers, than learning everything at once. So editing or how to present myself in front of the camera. And the antithesis is just like the opposite of what I'm doing here. So I can already have a frame of mind to learn something within and not get lost by thinking, oh my God, I need to perfect this and that, etc., and just focus on executing. After having the hypothesis, we want to progressive overload the living heck out of it. So what we will do is we'll create every video focused on thumbnails. So 80% of our time in the creation process will go into mastering how to create good thumbnails and documenting the process. And we also want to gamify this learning process to get creative and to make it fun for ourselves. Then in step 3, after having a lot of data sets, because we've created a lot of thumbnails, we want to find out what could be our new standard. So let's say thumbnail colors, or the title structure that we're, like the word structure that we're placing on the thumbnails, or the hooks of on the thumbnails, or where we place our faces whatsoever. And also we want to find out who we can learn from. So this doesn't only have to be people. This could be courses, AI tools, books, communities, and also like peer feedback if you are lucky to have a community of people that can help you improve in what you're trying to achieve. After finding this new standard and our like standard process of creating good thumbnails, we want to review and see if we achieve what we set out to do. So let's say we could not confirm that focusing on thumbnails led to more growth because our click-through rate didn't really grow. Then we have to go back to the beginning and craft a new hypothesis. So this could be focusing on mastering thumbnails, titles, and video ideas increases click-through rate, etc. And then we can like go through this entire process until we find something that can confirm our hypothesis. And after we've done that, we set a standard. So every thumbnail will be created based on this formula, and intermittently we'll test new things so that we don't lose traction. Then after finding the standard, it will be even easier for us to create great performing thumbnails so we can focus on something else. And this is the beauty of the system, because once we've found the standard, we can add it to our predefined skill stack, so we can document our entire process and know how to replicate our success. And then we move on to defining the next skill that we want to learn, and then we just repeat the entire scientific process. So this is just basically two things. First of all, how to approach learning high-value skill sets and how to document them. And second of all, how to frame yourself to learning how to solve problems, because most of the time this is all based on solving problems that you face for yourself. So you want to grow a YouTube channel, then you have to solve all of this first, and then you document it, and then you can help other people do the same with the systems that you've tested. So this is number 3, focus on attaining high-value skill sets. After that, after knowing our strengths, knowing who we want to address with our offer, and knowing what systems work, we can move on to crafting our offer. And I want you to think about crafting our offer as building bridges for our audience. We want to help them cross from their current state that is full of pain and misery to their dream state where they really, really feel great doing what they're doing, where they have freedom, where they have enough cash flow to expand their business and so on, by building the perfect offer for them. And to do so, we have to understand 2 big things. And first of all, it's understanding the current state. So we have to know and really, really understand what the pain points are that these people are facing. And this is an example for business owners, creators, specialists, coaches, and what they have in common. And A lot of these people have in common that they have issues staying up to date with industry trends and changes, and they do not know how to innovate, or they have time management challenges, or they face stress and a lot of burnout cases in their company, or they have difficulties finding and retaining clients and customers. So there's a lot of pain points that we can address, and we really have to sit down and brainstorm all of these pain points and find out what we can solve and what's the most important things that we should solve. After finding all of the pain points of our target audience, we want to move on to understanding their dream outcome. So the same example here for business owners and creators, etc. Dream states are that these people have 100% course completion rates of whatever their solutions they're providing, or that they have money printing ad funnels, or that they have automated lead generation and they do not have to be involved in the process, or they have bulletproof systems that help them make data-driven decisions, or that they have systems to attract top-tier employees. So this is the dream state, and these are the things that we want to reflect and really have all of the data points on by talking to people and really engaging with them by asking questions, open-ended questions that help us really understand what they're suffering from. And to understand how to communicate our offer, we have to understand what value really is and how people perceive value. And to do so, this formula breaks value down into dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement, divided by the time delay times the effort and sacrifice people have to face. And let's break this down and reverse engineer this entire formula. So first of all, we have to understand what value is. And first of all, value is always subjective. It could be just the mere convenience of an offer, of a tool, or of whatever. It could be the quality of your offer. It could be the desirability or the advantage it gives someone over their competition. So basically anything under this list will help you understanding how your offer provides value to the people you're trying to serve. And let's break this down even further and think about how we can address each factor in the offers that we're trying to create. So let's say we're trying to build an online offer based on a community group. The way we could address the dream outcome, so the likelihood of people achieving the dream outcome, is to promote win sharing. And what do I mean with win sharing? Win sharing is you telling the people that you've worked with already to share their feedback, so testimonials and the case studies within the case studies, what systems they applied from your offer that help them achieve certain goals. Then we have the point engineer quick wins. So along the process of people following our free content or lead magnets or our courses, we want to have small wins within each step so that people leave each module feeling motivated. So let's say after this video, you'll be equipped with this entire board, and in this board you will have placed your sticky notes, and with all of that information you have more clarity about what business you want to build for yourself or how to optimize your current business. So download the board in the description below. And then how do we address the likelihood of achievement? We do that by creating case studies, as already mentioned, and then also testimonials. So case studies and testimonials are not the same. Case studies are more of like, oh, it was so great working with you, blah, 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 blah. And case studies is really in detail how people applied X or Y to achieve their goals. So this could be like a podcast interview with someone where you really dive deep into their business model with them. Then you can also charge so much money that it hurts, because this creates accountability, and people that spend a lot of money on something really want results. So they will be more likely to follow through and increase their likelihood of achievement. And then obviously the biggest one, focus on clarity. If someone joins for example, a community group, and there are thousands of input points and classrooms and messages, and they do not know where to start, they really lose motivation because it's so overwhelming. That's what we want to reduce. And we want to reduce friction by focusing on providing a lot of clarity. And then how do we target time delay? We want to reduce the perception of, wow, this will take a lot of time and I'm not really sure if I can make it because I am so busy, by giving people exact time frames. Let's say you will complete this course within 1 week, and at the end of this entire program, so 90 days, you will have your entire business and you will have your first customers. This could be a thing to help people reduce the anxiety they feel when they think about how long this will take. And also to engineer milestones in combinations with quick wins. So milestones are like, yeah, after 2 weeks, you'll be at this stage, etc. if you follow along and execute everything that I'm showing you. And then how do we address effort and sacrifice? We want to reduce the effort that people have to make to achieve certain things by giving them like copy and paste templates or guarantees on our offers, because they don't sacrifice a lot of money if it doesn't work out, especially if you do not really know what you're doing, or if the offer is probably not the best case for them. So guarantees are really helpful there. And here's a sticky note for you to add something that you could do to address effort and sacrifice. So after crafting our offer, after knowing what our offer is that bridges the gap from the current state to the dream state of our customers, we want to find out how can we spread this message that we are the people that can help people solve certain problems. And for that, I've prepared for you a simple funnel that you can copy and apply to your business efforts. And this is the basic AIDA funnel. So attention, interest, desire, and action. And what we basically do is we find the social channels or the social networks that we want to use to gather eyeballs to create content on, to gain interest and attention. And after gaining attention and interest on these platforms, we want to offer people the possibility of gaining more value by providing us their emails to then receive more content from us, like lead magnets or a free newsletter with valuable insights every week. You'll get a proven strategy for XY, or a webinar or one-on-one calls that we offer for free, like clarity calls. And by gathering their emails, we can then pitch them our offer and build more trust during the process, because each touch point someone takes, the more likely they will be to purchase something from us, because they trust us and we're not this random guy on social media that's trying to sell them on this quick hack to earn $10 million in a month. So after having their email address and segmenting them on the likelihood of them buying, we want to send further emails trying to really find out, okay, if we pitch X and Y, does this person likely to buy that offer? So we basically want to have two offers. One could be a high ticket offer, another one a low ticket offer. So a high ticket offer could be you spending your time to helping people achieve their goals in one-on-one calls, for example, in coaching calls and so yeah, these types of offers where we really spend a lot of time and maybe even doing it for them, and all they have to do is give you their money. And the low ticket offer could be something like an online course that they pay, I don't know, $99 for, or a community where they pay $30 a month, and so on. And then in the emails that we have from them, we promote our offers, our high ticket offer, for example. And then they come on the landing page and they basically fill out a form. Yes, I can pay for this. Let me buy your high ticket offer. And if they can't afford it, you will basically downsell them to your low ticket offer, because you do not want a dead end. If the people reach your landing page after you've pitched it in their email, they've clicked on it, they're hyped, and then they find out, well, I can't really afford that. So you want to have an alternative to keep them in your ecosystem, provide them enough value so that they become able to afford your high ticket offer, and then you create an ecosystem. And then you can upsell them to exclusive offers like additional one-on-one calls, etc. And if the people, so you also basically pitch your low ticket offer in your mails. And if the people can afford it, then you, as I already mentioned, provide them so much value that they will be able to afford your high ticket offer in the future. So find your channels, gather the email addresses, build a customer relationship management platform. So like things like ConvertKit, HubSpot if you're really, really rich and you want to build a big business, and System.io if you want to pay $30 a month for all-in-one system. And if you really want me to dive deep into simple funnels and really help you build out the email systems you need, etc., then let me know in the comments below so I can make a new video to target that. And then after gathering the emails, you want to provide more free value to then keep them in this entire ecosystem, nurture them, so provide them even more and more value with more mails, and in these mails you pitch your offers. And this is basically the funnel that you can copy and paste to whatever business you're trying to build online. Let's then move on to our final minutes. So if you want to know more, let me know in the comments, because I can also dive into the business model that I'm trying to build for myself. So I want to build an online community and also have a high ticket offer where I help people achieve their goals of building their online businesses and monetize it within a couple of months. And if you're interested in this, hit me up or let me know in the comments if you want more content on this topic. So with that said, let us summarize what we've watched today and what we have brainstormed today that will help you get more clarity. First of all, you really, really want to know what your strengths are so you can find out what business model could be the best fit for yourself. Then you want to identify if the people that you're trying to address with that business model, that offer, are the right people. Then you want to learn how to solve the problems that these people will be facing or that you have faced and document the entire process of that so you can teach them what you've done. And then you want to craft your offer after gathering all of this information. And based on your offer, you have a lot of clarity what content you want to produce. And after having the clarity of what content you want to produce, you want to then create your entire distribution funnel so you can address the people with the right message from the beginning on and really gather all of the eyeballs of people that are really your target audience and not build a random channel with thousands of followers, but no one is really interested in what you're trying to offer them. So this was the entire roadmap that I'm following to build an online business the smart way. And I hope you really worked through this entire process with me. You put on your sticky notes and followed along. And if this was something that you really enjoyed, let me know in the comments. Download the board. And yeah, see you soon.